Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now today's video is going to be a selection of highlight clips from the past few days. Some clips are going to be from my own map like this starting clip, and there's also a couple of clips from some multiplayer sessions. But as I mentioned, we're starting off here with a clip from my own map, and we are on Mississippi, where I have been grinding the American alligators in hopes of finding a male albino and a male melanistic. But I haven't found either of those yet, but I did come across this guy, and as you guys will have seen, this is a 9 legendary alligator. I seem to have really good luck with getting big alligators, and I will absolutely take that luck, because these guys are by far one of my favourite species in the entire game. I ended up spotting this guy after I had initially spooked him while shooting some other alligators, but after waiting around for a little bit, he did come onto land, and as you will have seen, he was just resting there, and with the 7mm Empress, managed to put a very solid neck shot on him, which dropped him on the spot. I love making that shot and knowing that I've hit the spinal cord, because of course it is that instant kill, and you see their health go to 0 immediately, and it's just really nice to see that and know you've made that shot. So he is a diamond at 492.30, so not a massive diamond, but he is still another diamond alligator, and as I've said before, these guys are just so incredibly cool. To me, I just am happy to collect more and more of them for the trophy lodges. They look absolutely fantastic, and they're just by far one of the coolest looking species you can have in your trophy lodge, so the more of these I can collect, I'm always happy with that. And as I said, really happy with that shot, straight through the upper neck and through the spinal cord. And as I said, making that shot is really nice. You see the health go from 100% to 0% in an instant, and you know you've made that really good shot. So that is definitely my preferred shot on these guys. Moving on now from one animal on my map to another, and we are once again taking a look at the grey foxes. Now, I really love the grey foxes, definitely one of my favourite new species in the game. They are absolutely beautiful, and I have been grinding in hopes of finding a couple of specific trophies. One being a diamond female grey fox, as they are actually a thing. You can get a diamond female grey fox. But the other is an albino. I would really like to get either a male or a female albino, just so that I have one of each of the rares. I also would like to get the other piebald variation, but I'm more hoping for an albino, just so that I can say I have one of each. However, this guy is quite the opposite of an albino. This is a level 6 melanistic male grey fox. Now, this is actually my third ever melanistic grey fox, but it is cool that this is the first male I've seen for them, and it is actually on my own map. Picked up this guy's track just while running around and seeing what was in the area, as I hadn't fully explored that area yet, and this guy was there. I don't know if he was a respawn, as I had shot some stuff fairly close by, but I was so stoked to pick up his track, and I was hoping that, seeing as this guy was actually a level 6, I was really hoping that he might actually make gold. The other two I have are both females, one that was quite small and one that I think was like a level 5 or a level 6. I think she was actually a level 6, both from multiplayer, and unfortunately neither of those made gold. So I was hoping this guy would, and when I picked him up, he is a gold at 5.3, so right on that gold requirement, but that is awesome. Again, the 22 Hornet performing perfectly well at under 100 metres. I have absolutely no problem using it on the grey foxes as long as they're within that 100 metres. And honestly, with these guys, I don't find it too difficult to get that close, as a lot of the time they do go quite slowly through underbrush anyway. But moving on from my own map now and just into multiplayer for a moment, and as you guys will see there on the right hand side of the screen, I picked up a very interesting track. I picked up the track of a decent size male grey piebald raccoon. Now, I have said many times that on release day for Mississippi Acres, I did actually find the track of a piebald female raccoon. It was actually a grey piebald as well, but unfortunately I got kicked from that server, and it seems that the server was actually terminated after I left, and unfortunately that meant I never got to actually see that raccoon. And ever since, I've been really desperately trying to find another one, and this was awesome. This was a very quiet multiplayer session. I believe it was a 2-person server, and once the host left, I found this, and I had become host. So once I found that track, I just set the time back to the start of their need zone, went there, chased them out of there, and as you will have just seen, managed to put a shot into the grey piebalds. And oh my gosh, how cool does this guy look? The grey piebalds are my favourite of the piebald variations for these guys. Just look at how cool that looks. They look so noticeably different from an average raccoon just because of the lack of those dark facial markings, and they really are, in my opinion, very beautiful. So this is actually my first rare raccoon, and I'm really excited to finally have gotten one. Hopefully through grinding on my own map, and maybe occasionally going into multiplayer like I have been, we can get the other piebald variations like the blonde and the brown piebald, and hopefully an albino and a melanistic. But I am just so happy to have my first rare raccoon down. And like I said, hopefully we can get the other variations of rares for these guys. And like I said, I've barely been going into multiplayer. I've only been doing it basically to stop me getting burnt out from grinding. But the couple of times I have dipped into quiet multiplayer sessions has really paid off. And not just with that grey piebald raccoon, but with the animal you see in this next clip. This is actually my first ever level 3 Eastern Wild Turkey. Now, I did get a Diamond Level 2 Eastern Wild Turkey from my own map a couple of weeks ago, but this is the first level 3, and I was really excited to actually finally see a level 3, and picking him up, he's actually a really decent size one at 4.7. A lot of the diamond turkeys you'll see are 4.6, whether they're level 2s or level 3s, so getting one that was a little bit bigger was really nice, and I actually ended up managing to make a lung shot there on that second shot. And these guys are just so beautiful. The Eastern Wild Turkeys are by far my favourite turkey species in the game. They are just stunning. And on that note, with these guys being my favourite of the turkey species in game, I have set up a couple of grinds for them on my own map, hoping to get a couple of rare toms for the lodge. And as you will see, this is one of those grinding areas. I do have some decoys set up there, and I have this tree stand that I'm sat in right now. And as you'll see, there's no rares here this time, but there's not one, but 2 level 3 males. And I was basically here just trying to work out to make sure that I could get both of them here with the 22. And it's, like I said, there's no rares, but seeing 2 level 3 males together like this, it never gets old to see 2 max level animals together. Even if it's just something like turkeys where it is a bit more common to see the max level pop up, it's just still cool. There's something about seeing 2 max level animals that just never gets old in this game. And when you're grinding for trophies of that specific species, seeing diamonds pop up is always just really encouraging. I said it throughout my red deer grind. Every diamond I saw pop up in that grind for a great one was an encouragement. And same here with grinding for rare turkeys. Every level 3 male that I see pop up for me is an encouraging sign that I'm doing something right and getting those respawns to come through really nicely. And as I mentioned, these guys are really beautiful. Like, even this, which isn't my favourite feather type, just the amount of detail in this bird is just absolutely stunning. And we'll pick him up. He is a light brown plumage type, and he is a 4.7, so a really decent sized diamond turkey again. As I said, most of them that you'll see are the 4.6 score. What you're really looking for is the 4.8, which is the max score, which hopefully through grinding it would be really nice if I could get a max weight, max score Diamond Eastern Wild Turkey. And I'd really also like to get a max weight, max score Diamond Rio Grande Turkey, as I've never had maxes for either of them. So it would be really nice to try and get maxes for both of those. And don't ask me why I'm suddenly really interested in the turkeys in-game, but something about the Eastern turkeys has really reignited my interest for all of them in-game. They're so cool. And this is my favourite plumage type for the Eastern Wild Turkeys, the bronze colour. It is absolutely stunning. This and the light bronze are by far my favourite of the common plumage types for them. They are just really, really beautiful. So much sort of copper colours in their tail and wings, and they just look absolutely stunning. This guy is a 4.6, so he is a little bit lower scoring than the previous one, but still on that diamond requirement. And again, it's just really good to see 2 level 3s like that on one of the spots that I set up. And I really have found the decoys to actually be quite useful at getting them to come into those specific areas, because there was a few little groups of turkeys in the area, but they do seem to congregate around the decoys even more now that I've set them up, and it's just really nice to have them all in that area and just be able to take out the few toms that are here. And we also got this guy who was a smaller one, but also worth taking out for respawns, and he is a light bronze. Again, a really beautiful feather type. But something else that's really cool that I've noticed when I've set up these decoys in my grinding spots is getting to see these guys strutting. Now, you'll only get to see it there briefly, but if I can get a rare one to spawn, I am actually going to try and get it to strut and take some pictures of it strutting, and then actually take it with a shotgun and do it as a full hunt. I think that would be really cool, because these guys look fantastic when they're strutting, and I actually got that guy in the tail there. So yeah, what a beautiful bird. They are just awesome. And funnily enough, as I was running around somewhere else completely different on my map later that day, I ended up having this guy fly over, which is another level 3 Eastern Wild Turkey. And the really funny thing about this was, like I said, I spent so long looking for a level 3 Eastern Turkey, and then on this particular day I had 3 off of my own map, which was just insane, especially seeing as it was Christmas Day, so quite appropriate I felt to have a load of diamond turkeys suddenly show up. And this guy, again, beautiful plumage type, as this guy, as we pick him up, you will see, is again the bronze colour, which again, I absolutely love. He is a 4.6, the same as the other bronze that we shot, but still really nice. It doesn't matter to me, it's still a diamond, and the more diamonds of these guys that I can have, the better, honestly. I would have a lot of space dedicated to them in the trophy lodge if we had bigger trophy lodges. But going back to that spot that I showed off just a minute ago, where I had the 2 level 3s side by side, you can see here, just taking out a couple of males, but I spotted something else pretty cool. That is a leucistic female Eastern Wild Turkey. Now, as I mentioned, I've been trying not to shoot the females, but every now and again do end up taking out a couple of them, and unfortunately that one was one of the ones that respawned as a rare. And also this spot is pretty good for the grey fox. They do like to hang around in this particular area, and as you'll see, there's actually a mythical just chilling on the far end of the field. Just taking him out with the M1, he's not got a chance at making diamond, so I'm just going to take him out and get the respawn from him. But the most important thing that we just shot here is this leucistic female. The leucistics for these guys are absolutely stunning. They are the only rare that I've come across so far, and this is actually the 3rd leucistic I've shot. 2 of them were in multiplayer, and this one obviously in single player. I would really like to get a leucistic male now, if possible. As I mentioned, I've had 3 leucistic hens. But either way, they still look really, really good. They're just really nice to see so much detail and all the different shades of brown and tan going through the feathers. Just that extra level of detail instead of them being almost plain white is really nice to see. And the final clip here of the Eastern Turkeys. This is another little spot I have set up on my own map. Again, there's some decoys out in the middle of this really big field, and it does seem to draw a lot of turkeys into the area. As you'll see, there was a flock just here, and I've just taken out the tom from that flock, and there's also a pretty decent sized one here. Now, I missed the first couple of shots at him, but actually managed to get him there before he takes off. And he was just a level 2, so I wasn't expecting him to be anything really big. But when I actually ran over and picked him up, you guys will see that he is a diamond level 2. Again, a 4.6 bronze, but really nice to see a little surprise level 2 diamond. So this is actually my 2nd diamond level 2 Eastern Wild Turkey. Both have been, of course, 4.6, as they always will be if they're level 2 diamonds, and both of them have been bronzes. I don't know why I've gotten so lucky with actually getting as many of the bronzes as I have, because, yeah, they're by far my favourite for the commons, so the more of them that turn up, the better. And as I said, hopefully we can get a really big one eventually throughout the grind. Now, this clip marks the transition from the Mississippi Acres portion of this video onto the Silver Ridge Peaks portion of this video. And as you will see, we are looking at something pretty cool there. That is a level 5 mule deer with what people refer to as the ugly rack. These guys are always extremely high scoring and are almost always max weight. Now, that was a bad shot. That was a really bad shot, and I wasn't sure that I'd done enough there to actually get a vital, because I should have anticipated that he was going to take that step there, and I didn't. But he went down pretty quickly, so I was hoping that I might have clipped the back of the lungs or the liver. And as you will see when we pick him up, I did get very lucky and clip the liver, and thankfully the liver actually counts as a vital organ, otherwise I would have messed this guy up. And it does happen. We all make bad shots every now and again. I just didn't anticipate at that precise moment in time that he was going to take that extra step forward right then. So, not the best shot, but a very big scoring animal. 340.70 diamond mule deer, and he is max weight. Almost all of the ones that have this rack seem to be max weight, and they're always very high scoring, like 340 scoring. So yeah, they're pretty big, but a lot of people hate this rack because it is so weird looking, and it's about as close as a non-typical mule deer you can get in Call of the Wild at the moment. I don't mind them, I like weird antlers, so when I see them I'm always happy to take them down, and I'll put him somewhere in a trophy lodge, just because they do look so odd. But yeah, managed to get that guy. But moving on to the next clip, and we're taking a look at the turkeys here on Silver Ridge Peaks. Now, I had a couple of turkey trophies that I specifically wanted to get off of Silver Ridge Peaks, including a leucistic male, as it was the only male rare I didn't have for the Merriams turkeys. And also, I noticed there was a lot of light browns being shot, and it seems like the light browns might be overspawning a bit. As you guys seen there was a lot of them in the area. And I don't know whether that is intentional. I would think that it's not, just because of how many of them there are. But this guy was in the middle of them. That is a leucistic tom, which was just really cool to actually see that he was a little bit different from all of those light browns. I was really, really happy to actually get that. Wasn't expecting it at all, because I had obviously seen from everyone posting so many light brown Merriams turkeys, I was just expecting this guy to probably be another light brown. But I saw him, I knew that he was a little bit different. Obviously, the main difference there, not having the brown wings and that beautiful tail fan that's like a greyish colour with a black band going through it. So I knew that he was a little bit different. And the same goes with this one here. I noticed something a little bit different about him, so I shot him, and walking up to him, he was another leucistic. Similar to the thing with the eastern turkeys, spending so long looking for a level 3, and then you get so many level 3s at once. Exactly the same happened to me with the leucistic Merriams turkeys in multiplayer. I had never had a leucistic male, I'd only had a leucistic female, and then I get one and then another one really quickly. It's so funny how things like that work in Call of the Wild. But really cool to actually get a second one, both of them being pretty decent size ones, being 9 to 11 kg weight estimate. Neither of them making diamond, unfortunately. Would have been cool to get a diamond level 2 leucistic, but either way, both really good size golds that will be going into the trophy lodge. Now, this next clip is basically a little introduction into what was the most insane turkey hunt I've ever had here on Silver Ridge Peaks. This particular server had two incredible birds in it that I was so stoked to find. But the reason that I'm showing that there was other completely normal turkeys about is because what happened was so insane that even I raised my eyebrows and I was like, okay, I need to run around and check the rest of the server and make sure this is actual legit and that this is just my luck being insane again and it's not a hacked server that I've ended up in. Because unfortunately, as I mentioned in a previous video, there's been a few of those about recently. But as you can see, I shot a level 3 turkey. Not too uncommon to see level 3 turkeys, they are one of the more common diamonds in the game. And as I was running up to pick up this turkey, you'll have noticed the pair of almost comically small Rocky Mountain elk that ran past. And then when I picked up this turkey, he was a max weight, max score brown Merriam turkey. And I was really, really thrilled because I haven't shot many max scoring turkeys ever. So it was really cool to get one. They're not extremely rare to actually get. You do see them posted quite often, But it's nice to get something that's max weight, max score. And like I said, I didn't have one on my PC, so I was really happy to get this guy. But, as I mentioned, the next thing that happens is a little bit crazy, so that's why I'm sort of making sure you guys can see in the chat that every other animal being harvested and every other animal I saw in this entire server was completely normal. Because as I run out of the water that I was auto-running into and start to move back up this bit of a hill here just so that I can look back round the lake and just see what else is around, because like I said, I wasn't specifically just looking for turkeys, I was looking for elk and black bears and other things as well, I noticed something white moving over in the distance, and when I spotted it, it was a level 3 light brown turkey. Now, immediately I was like, okay, 2 level 3 turkeys. I've seen 2 level 3 turkeys before. You know, we've seen it in the video earlier, in my single player. It happens fairly often. They're not extremely rare diamonds to get. But it was a light brown, so I wanted to make a point of going to get this one, just because it would be cool to get. So I tracked him down, I could see his tracks here, and he ended up flying down the hill towards me. I took a couple of shots at him with the shotgun there, completely missed because I'm awful with a shotgun, always, but he landed not too far away and I just took him out with the 22. Now, everything we've seen in this server is completely normal. Every other turkey is normal. We know that the light browns are overspawning, so seeing a level 3 isn't that uncommon. There's been plenty of them posted. We saw the Rocky Mountain elk, completely normal low levels. And that's why when I picked this guy up in a second, as you will see, absolutely stunning looking bird. They are really beautiful. I was a little bit shocked, because this guy was also max weight and max score. Now, I'm going to end up saving this harvest rather than taxing it, because I wanted to make sure that the rest of the server was legit. Because 2 max weight and max score animals in the same area, I always have to double check. It's not like it hasn't happened before. I've had 2 max weight pronghorn in the same server, within a couple 100 meters of each other. I've had other weird circumstances where you just get 2 really big animals really close together. And as I mentioned, level 3 turkeys aren't the rarest diamonds in the world. But, hand on heart, I honestly believe this was legit. I looked through as much of the server as I possibly could. Every other animal I saw was low level. But to get 2 max weight, max score level 3s, and one of them to be a light brown, was really, really cool. Like, I know these are overspawning, I've said it plenty of times in this video, but that's still a really cool trophy. I was really, really happy. But there has been people that said, okay, that's crazy to get 2 max weights, 2 max scores. So that's why I've made such a point of it in this video, like bringing it up, making sure that you guys know that this is as fully legit as I can possibly prove to you guys. There was nothing in my eyes that I saw that was weird. So as far as I can tell, these are absolutely legit, and my luck once again was off the charts, and definitely by far the best turkey hunt I've ever had in this game. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much, as always, for all your support. I always appreciate all of it. And yeah, what an insane turkey hunt. I still can't believe that ended up happening. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.